Well, good morning, you guys. Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do something that's a little bit different than what I normally do, but this was a requested video, and I am going to share with you guys how to earn a college degree non-traditionally. A few months ago, I had a video out that was also a request about homeschooling my family, my kids. I had 8 children. I homeschooled them all the way through high school and beyond. I helped many of them get jobs, pursue vocational training, or anything else that they had an interest in. I had 2 daughters, though, that wanted to get their bachelor's degrees. And so I'm going to share the story of how I'm going to go with the first daughter that did it, because the other one did the same thing. She just followed about a year later. My daughter had finished all of her classes for homeschooling and graduated at 17 years old. And that was when she decided that she wanted that college degree. Now, we have never had a problem with any of my children pursuing anything that they wanted to. However, we also didn't have any conviction that it was our responsibility to pay for that. So basically, if they wanted a degree, they were going to have to figure out how they were going to do that. When you have a lot of kids, college is expensive, and we just felt like it was something that they needed to actually want bad enough to figure out how to make it happen. I've seen a lot of people over the years who pay for their children's college education, and then their children basically don't complete it. They squander their time. It's a big burden, financial burden for the parents, and so it just wasn't something that we were going to be able to do for them. My daughter researched and looked around at a lot of different things, and what she landed on was a program called College Plus. And College Plus has changed names over the year, and while the same idea still exists, it went from College Plus to Le Merit to Unbound, and it is now Pearson accredited or accelerated, Pearson accelerated. And I'll leave all the links to that, to Pearson, in the description box below in case somebody is interested. My daughter, and this is the case for both of them, they got their bachelor's degrees in 2.5 years, all while they were working 40 to 50 hours a week, and they walked away with absolutely zero debt. So all of that seems like too good to be true, but this is exactly what happened. And basically, my daughter started the program College Plus, and we paid a fee to them and then a monthly fee while she was on their program. And that provided her with a coach that would talk to her on the phone a couple times a month and would also do emails back and forth with her. It gave her a degree planner, and the degree planner was the one that helped her set up what degree she wanted and what courses she would need to take in order to get that degree. The coach also would help with what books, recommended books to buy, websites, and different amounts of information. So it was a very helpful program and worth the money that we put in there. The program basically works that you cover your first 2 years of college classes with CLEPs. And CLEPs are college level examination something, can't remember it right now. Anyway, once you take the test for, let's say, world history, and you have passed that test, it's either pass or fail. If you pass that test, then you get the credit for that course. So you didn't need to waste an entire semester on this. You simply study for it, take the CLEP, and you're good to go. Most degrees require pretty much the same types of basic courses to begin the process, whether that's U.S. history or sociology or biology or any of those types of things. All of those classes are pretty much standard no matter what degree you get. We would go to a local community college where she would take those CLEP tests. At that time, and I should say this was about 2008 when she did this, so at that time, CLEP tests cost $20, so she would just pay the CLEP college, and that was mostly the fee for, some of it was the fee for the college itself for administering the test, and some of it went to the CLEP board. She would pay that fee, take the test, and wait to see whether she had passed or failed. But if she passed, she would just move on now to the next course. She was able to get through each of those courses in anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks, depending on how complicated it was. So as you can see, you can go very quickly this way because you're not spending an entire semester on just U.S. history. You're spending about 2 weeks and then you're moving forward. This covered all the first 2 years of her degree. For the third year, we switched now to a university, and they did the tests that they did were called Dante's, and these tests basically covered all level 300, as they call it, courses, and most of them were pretty typical up until, some of the end ones were more specific to the type of degree that she was going to go after. Her desire was to get a business degree that specialized in accounting. So then at the point that she had gotten all of the CLEPs and all of the Dante's taken, it was now time to enroll in a university or a state college. College Plus at that point recommended Thomas Edison State College. It is an online college. It was originally set up for military people who were traveling a lot, and it originally was a correspondence school, and of course as time had progressed it was an online, and it still is today, an online school. At that point, when she had been accepted into Thomas Edison, all of her CLEPs and Dante credits had been sent to Thomas Edison. And they reviewed all those credits and had a counselor there that told her exactly what courses that she would need to take through Thomas Edison. And these were all courses that related to her accounting business degree. She had a few courses that were rather challenging to take, and so she ended up, they gave her a list of online tutors, and she did use them a few times, and that was a simple process, and they helped her quite a bit, and she was able to finish off all the courses that she needed. And then they issued her diploma. She never once stepped into a college classroom to do this. She never had to deal with anything big debt or anything. It was simply pay as you go, and that was the case with Thomas Edison. You had to pay them to begin the courses, and then there was a fee, and I don't remember what that was right now, but you had to pay them a fee, and then you had to pay for each course, and then you had to pay a fee when you finally graduated. But with all of the craziness going on today and the outrageous expense of going to college and so many other issues that you may or may not have related to that. Of course, the biggest one is just the financial aspect. So she graduated in 2010, and her whole degree from start to finish, including the fees to College Plus, the fees for her CLEPs and Dante's, all the fees for Thomas Edison, the courses themselves, the books, everything about it ended up costing her about $14,000. It might have been a little bit more than that, but it was about $14,000. While she was doing this, she was also working full time. At 17, she had also gotten a job as a nanny for a family that lived not far from us. They had twin boys, and she would take care of them during the day, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes in the evenings. They were a very busy couple, and so she oftentimes would just camp out over the weekend. So she literally could work 40 to 50 hours a week with that job. However, she used it to the best of her abilities because she would study while the boys were having their nap. She would wake up early in the morning and study before she had to leave. She would come home from work and grab a bite to eat and be, boom, in her room studying. On her weekends, they were study. She was very focused and very determined to get this done as quickly as she was able to. But it was It was a huge blessing to her and to our family that she was able to get her degree in 2.5 years. I mean, you don't ever hear that type of thing. And for the cost, like I said, because it was pay as you go, there was no debt when it was all over. And her job provided her the income she needed to be able to pay for those CLEPs, Dante's fees, and courses. We knew the bigger expenses were going to come as soon as she had enrolled in Thomas Edison, so she was also saving money and setting that aside so that when she got there, she would be ready for that. I do believe that her experience as a homeschooler really contributed to her focused ability to self-study and to be self-motivated. I think if you are not, or you have a child that's not self-motivated, it's going to be more challenging and it probably could take more time. About a year after she started, the second daughter started the same process. And she also got her degree in 2.5 years and did it exactly in the same way that her sister had. Her degree was in English. Thomas Edison is an accredited college. It was called, at that time it was called Thomas Edison State College. Today it is called Thomas Edison University, and it is accredited, and their degrees were accepted. My daughter, the first daughter, went to work, I think her first job, well, she actually graduated and then went to Denmark for a year to work as an au pair. She just wanted after all of that, she just wanted some life experiences and had a great year in Denmark. But she came home and her first job was working for an accounting firm. And she did very well with that. In the meantime, she got married and ended up moving to a different state. And the company that she was working for liked her so much, they asked her to work from home so that they could continue to have her work for them. And she did that for a while, but then eventually got a job working for the state where she lives now. And today, all these years later, she got her degree in 2010. This is 2023, so 13 years later, she is now working as an auditor for the state. My second daughter got her English degree, and then after she got her degree, she went to the community college and took a course in English as a second language. After getting that certificate, she then applied for a job in South Korea and worked in South Korea for 3 years teaching English to little Korean children in the schools there. She really enjoyed her time in South Korea. When she came home and settled back down, she got married, she settled back down, and she began going to school to get her teaching license, to get all the necessary accreditation she needed for her teaching license. And because of her experience, she was able to start working as a teacher right away, as long as she was enrolled to be getting her the rest of her degree. So she went on to get her master's degree in special education, and that is what she does today. And she did that all through online classes while she was working. Okay, my battery is dying and it is time for me to close out this video, but that is my story on my daughter my daughters getting their bachelor's degree in a non-traditional way. Oh, and my second daughter, I should add to, before I'm out of battery here, is that her degree costs about the same thing. So it was a bargain, really, no matter how you look at it. All right, guys, if you have any questions about this process or anything that maybe I missed as I was doing this video, please ask me below in the comments. And, as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help out my channel a lot, and I appreciate every subscriber. By the way, I made 6,000 subscribers here the other day, so thank you all very much, and I'm happy to have you here. Okay, guys, I'm going to cut this short now, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.